On land, you drive in miles. But the moment you fly or sail, the rules change. Suddenly, speed is measured in knots. Why does a piece of string control a billion-dollar jet? Welcome to the strange history of the knot, a unit that links 17th century sailors to modern astronauts. In the 1600s, crossing the ocean was a lethal gamble where losing your way meant certain death. With no GPS or landmarks, captains relied on dead reckoning to estimate their position on a blank map. Knowing your exact speed was the only way to calculate distance and avoid crashing into hidden reefs. This desperation birthed the chip log, a primitive wooden sensor that functioned as a mechanical speedometer. The chip was a weighted wooden wedge designed to grip the water and stay still as the ship moved. It was tied to a long hemp rope marked with actual knots tied at very specific, calculated intervals. These knots weren't random. They were spaced exactly 47 feet and 3 inches apart to sync with time. To measure speed, a sailor tossed the wood overboard and flipped a 28-second sand glass to start the clock. As the ship sailed, the rope unspooled, and the sailor counted how many knots slipped through his hands. 1, 2, 3, he'd shout, feeling the physical bumps of the rope as the timer ran down. If 5 knots passed before the sand ran out, the ship was officially moving at 5 knots. But why that odd distance of 47 feet? This is where maritime math separates from land logic. On land, we use the statute mile, 5,280 feet, a distance based on the rhythmic marching of Roman soldiers. But the Earth isn't flat, and you can't march across the ocean. Navigators needed a planetary scale. They divided the Earth's sphere into 360 degrees, slicing each degree into 60 smaller minutes of arc. 1 nautical mile was defined as exactly 1 of these minutes, a unit literally carved from the planet. This was a stroke of genius. It meant that a navigator's map and their ruler were finally the same. To translate this massive nautical mile into a short 28-second test, the 47-foot knot spacing was required. Every knot counted was a physical manifestation of the Earth's geometry, measured with wood and sand. Now, look at a modern pilot cruising at 30,000 feet. Why does this ancient system still dominate the sky? In the early 20th century, the first long-distance pilots had no flight charts, so they stole from the Navy. Pioneers like Charles Lindbergh used maritime maps and stars to navigate, making knots the natural choice. But there's a deeper, technical reason. Aviation is about moving across the curve of a sphere. Using land-based miles over thousands of miles of curved space would make the math inaccurate and dangerous. Knots stay precise because they are perfectly synchronized with the latitude and longitude grid of our world. Furthermore, planes travel through a fluid atmosphere, behaving much like ships navigating a deep ocean. Because air density changes with altitude, standard land-based measurements become a confusing, shifting metric. Nautical units provide a stable, universal constant, whether you are skimming the waves or hitting Mach 1. Today, knots are used by meteorologists to track the terrifying power of hurricanes and shifting winds. Even NASA experts use these routes when calculating the intense re-entry of capsules from orbit. It is a legacy system that remains because it is fundamentally superior to any flat Earth alternative. Next time your pilot announces the speed, remember, you're hearing an echo from the 17th century. You are connected to a sailor who once stood in a freezing gale, counting knots in a hemp rope, It's a reminder that our most advanced technology is still rooted in simple, rugged human ingenuity. Cars measure the road beneath their wheels, but ships and planes measure the geometry of the planet. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden math of our world, let us know in the comments below. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more surprising histories of the everyday things we see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next journey into the secrets of the ordinary world. Until then, keep questioning everything. Safe travels and clear skies to you all.